again, this is your Module 7 overview. So for Module 7, which is going to be due Tuesday, September 26th at midnight, you've got 2 chapters to read in your Davison Rim book, and these chapters both cover creativity. Chapter 9 deals a little bit more with theories of creativity, characteristics of creative individuals. Chapter 10 is a little bit more about teaching strategies or how you can help to support creative potential. And so for here you have a 10-point assignment due. That's your creativity assignment. And for this creativity assignment, you have 3 different options. So if you open the kind of click here, you're going to have just an overview of each of your 3 options. Option 1, you're able to apply creative problem solving model to identification of gifted students, potentially identifying students from underrepresented populations. So you can read through that. Option 2 is going to be talking about or brainstorming kind of possible positive and negative manifestations of creativity. It's very common knowledge that sometimes we have misconceptions of creativity as teachers. You know, we want to assume or believe that we are truly supporting creativity in our classroom because we think creativity is a really great thing to have. But sometimes creative potentials or creative traits may be manifested in more negative ways. And so I kind of give an example of, divergent thinking. Someone who is highly creative might be a very divergent thinker, which is great in terms of like if you're trying to assess or trying to get them to problem solve, in which they're trying to think of all these different ways in which this problem can be solved, and they decide on the best way, and that kind of thing. But then another divergent thinker might be a student who has trouble like following directions or following rules because they are so divergent. They see so many different ways of doing something that they really want to take this other way, and you really want them to follow this rubric. And if they don't follow this rubric, even though their idea is good, then they might not get point, that sort of thing. So starting to think about how we support some of those creative characteristics in our classroom. Option 3 is about brainstorming a way in which you can strengthen creativity in the classroom using one of the strategies that's mentioned in Chapter 10. And taking one of your units of study, so either a unit, a module, a chapter, something in your content area, and this kind of gives you some space to start to think about, okay, how can I actually apply one of these strategies, or which strategy might be best to use in whatever unit you choose. There are templates for each of these 3 options. So option 1, if you want to complete option 1, then please copy and paste this table or this template into a new document to place in your folder. Option 2, your template is there, and then option 3, your template is there. So just pick one of these as your creativity assignment. Make sure you label the file appropriately and stick it in your characteristics folder. So all the directions are there. Going back to the website, remember here we said the shadowing experience would be due Module 7. I'm also going to accept it Module 8, so if you want, you can go ahead and turn it in Module 7. And then at the very bottom, I want you to start going ahead and looking, working towards your case study assignment. And this case study assignment is going to be completed in our last in-residence session, which is going to be Tuesday, October 17th. So you have a few more weeks to complete this. So this case study assignment, I'm going to hop to it really quickly, is you're conducting a case study on a student. And so here there are going to be 8 different things that you need to look at. Now, go ahead and start thinking of either the student you want to talk to, because you're also going to have to get number 1, some test scores on them. 2, results of a personal interview with a student. So that can be kind of an informal conversation. I don't want to put strict guidelines on this personal interview with a student, but you do need to have sort of a one-on-one either conversation with them or some sort of appropriate communication with them. For 3, what was learned from the interview with one or more teachers of the student? So can you talk to one of, if you we're asking that the student cannot be your own child or relative, but if you have the student, can you talk to another teacher about their perspectives of the student? Criteria 4 is to interview the student's parents or a peer of the student. So again, just kind of talking to them about what the student is like in terms of characteristics of giftedness. 5 is using a portfolio or student work samples. So can you collect samples either from what you've taken from your class or maybe what that teacher sample that teacher might have, or maybe the student. High school students, they probably keep some of their stuff, so maybe ask what they might want to contribute that you can make copies of and kind of get back to them. Criteria 6 is stating specific strengths and weaknesses of the student, including any special or affective needs that you've noticed either throughout your observations, interviews, and talking with a parent, a peer, or a teacher of the student. Criteria 7 is teaching strategies and educational options best suited for the student. So this is based on some of your readings in the course so far. What do you think would be best suited for the student? And then 8 is a summary paragraph describing not what you learned about the student, but what you learned about from doing this case study assignment. And so all 8 of those criteria are going to be do that last and resident session in which you're going to be presenting your case study to your classmates. There is a case study report kind of rubric that's attached to this, so this can help kind of guide you as you complete the assignment. But again, I'm going to make sure we go over this now while we're several weeks out, so that way you can plan time accordingly, because some of these might be a little bit maybe not necessarily super time intensive, but maybe requiring some scheduling. So go ahead and pick a student that you have in mind. Maybe contact that student, that parent, or a teacher, and find a way where you can either talk with them and get all of that sort of situated. If you have any questions on that, please let me know. This case study assignment is one of those assignments that the district or the county office has set, so I can't really change any of this. But again, it's not even due till the very last session. And that's it. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Shoot me an email. And I'm pretty sure that that's all that we have for Module 7. A few more modules left of the Characteristics course, and you're done. I'll see you guys soon.